All right. Fortunate for you, not fortunate for me, but I blew out a marker light and I have to drive a decent distance for the next place I'm going to go wheeling, which means I need a clean marker light, something that works so the police don't pull me over and give me a vehicle inspection because I'm trying to keep my road drivable or my rig drivable as long as possible. And that requires working turn signals, mud flaps, which I'll be doing soon. But let's get right into this. First thing is 1157A, which is an orange dual filament bulb. What we're going to be doing is combining the marker light and the turn signal into one so that you just have a clean front bumper. You know, a lot of bumpers, aftermarket and everything, come with this separate turn signal light. I think it's kind of pointless and dumb. If you can just simplify things and consolidate them, then it's better. It kind of sucks though when you do break a marker lens to have to do this all over again. But I've designed everything to be pull off. I just ended up wheeling somewhere where I wasn't actually planning on wheeling anything tight, and I wasn't paying attention and took out a marker. So first things first, I'm going to take off the combo marker that I made before, and I'll show you what I use, what brand I use. I just bought this socket from my parts store, and what was cool about the socket that I bought was that it came with a little metal bracket here, which I gotta clean off. But it came with a nice little bracket that the socket snips into. So as you can see here, I just clearanced this out, and let me show you this real quick. Side by side, this is the marker I'm going to use. This was the modified one that I had before. So you can see this is the marker light that was on here. I'll ditch that. And then I just got to get my Dremel tool and open this up so that it's big enough for the light bulb. And you don't want to go too far on this side because then you'll have a big hole here. You want to kind of make the circle go out into here. So I'm just going to do that with my Dremel. I'll show you how I mark it just so I kind of have an idea of how big the hole should be. So what I do is I just put this on top, and then I draw my circle around it because this opening has to be big enough to get this bulb in here and to sit in on the socket with this thing here. So we'll Dremel this out. Okay, so open it up a bit. I gotta kind of stuff it in there a little bit, like that, which is fine. I'm just gonna buzz this off and just kind of clean the surface a little bit so that the RTV has a nice clean surface to adhere to. you want to just mark where this is going to sit. So I've done this already. From this one, this is bent a little bit. I would just bend this into place and then get my marker and put 2 tiny little dots on where I want this to end up. Dot there, dot there, and then I'm just going to pre-drill a tiny little hole with a super small bit, and that's just so that I make sure that my screws go in the right spot. So quite literally, I'm just eyeballing this. Okay. Now, what you have to do is you kind of, what's a little bit too bad about this is you have to have the socket and the bulb all together at once, because obviously you can't pull the bulb through here. So I'm just going to clean off this a little bit, and I'm going to go pull my pigtail and the socket off the truck. Okay, so there it is. So we're going to put this on. Okay, so it's on like that. Put the light bulb in. And what's weird about these things is it's actually like, oh, this one's way better. Okay, that's in there, nice and solid. And pop this in here like that. Spin it around. And we are good to go. Screwing these in, and it's a small hole so that it kind of gives this tiny little screw something to bite into. It's probably okay, make sure you don't go too tight when you tighten these down, otherwise it's just going to strip out your plastic. But there you go. You'll see this big gap on the side, and that's what I fill with RTV. If you want to be like super ultra awesome, probably put some RTV on before you even screw this thing in, and then that would make it super water resistant. I might do that. Yeah, I'll do that. Why not? It's just gonna get on the bulb. No, I'm not gonna do that. I don't care. I'm probably gonna crush it anyways before the bulb dies. So I like to just get my RTV, kind of blob it in. And what I'll do is I'm just gonna RTV around here. I'm seriously just blobbing it on all around. And I'll use my finger to get in there and smooth it out. Oh, it's so gooey. Okay, so I've just used my finger to kind of blob this around. seal it up. So there you got it. Just sealed. Doesn't look pretty, but there you have it. And I'm just gonna blob a whole bunch here. There's a big chip in there from this marker light, which is from a wrecker or something. I just got it cheap from someone locally. I'll fill in that crack. The idea is just to keep the water out. It's funny I'm doing all this since this marker light has a big crack here. But there you go. There's your sweet marker turn signal light. I think it's way cleaner once it's on the truck. Keeps you from knocking out your turn signals and having to replace those all the time. And I think it just looks better. So those are the hazards on. And then marker lights.